Hello everyone, myself Suhas, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Maharaja Institute of Technology, Mysore. So here in this session I will be discussing the module 3 of the discrete mathematical structures. So in the first module, before getting back into the topics of module 3, just a recap of module 1 and module 2. In the module 1, we learned the few topics about the mathematical logics and the principles associated them, the laws associated to them, the propositions, the compound propositions, the logical connectives, and also the truth tables associated. And in the module 2, we had the mathematical inductions. So how do we prove the different things with the help of induction type? And then we also had a brief idea, or we also continued our discussion to the principles of counting. Module 3, we will be continuing the principles of counting. We call it as principle of counting 2. So we will be continuing with the topics that were done in the module 2. So it is nothing but a continuation of the same module. So here, first and foremost thing, we will be discussing our principles of counting with respect to the sets. Okay. So basically, we'll have an idea what is something known as set. What is a set? Set is nothing but a collection of objects. It is a collection of objects. Collection of objects. It might be a similar object or a different type of objects. It might be a mathematical objects, or it need not be a mathematical objects, and different. But if it is a collection, and if it is enclosed, we usually represent a set or list of elements within a enclosed flower brackets, okay, braces. Enclosed, if a list of elements are enclosed within the braces, then we call it as a set, and we usually represent the sets with the capital alphabets, capital letters. So here A, we can represent it by A, B, C, whatever it is, okay, P, Q, R, and so on. In the first module, we have also seen that how do we represent a proposition? We represent the proposition with the help of small letters, but here we represent a set with a capital letters, right? Now, we will divide set into two types, finite set and a infinite set. So finite set. What is a finite set? If I ask you to write a set of integers from 1 to 100, from 1 to 100, then it is nothing but a finite set, because you know the number of elements or the number of numbers that can come between 1 to 100, that are the elements from 1 to 100, the integers from 1 to 100. Next it is infinite set. If I ask you to write the integers, all integers, then it becomes infinite set, because there are no restriction on the number of integers that can appear. So if I ask you to write the numbers between 1 or the integers between 1 to 100, then it is a finite set. If I ask you to write all the integers, then it becomes a infinite set. Next, we will see the operations that can be performed on the sets. Operations performed. What are the different operations that can be performed? See, we have seen the sets in the previous class or in the previous years in depth. So I am just giving you the brief of it in order to continue with the topics related to the module 3. So different operations that can be performed. One is union. What is a union? Union of two sets. For example, I'll take two sets for an example so that would be easy for our discussion. The first one, I'll give you some set A with the elements 1, 2 and 3. Similarly, I'll give you one more set with the elements 6, 7 and 8. Okay. Now, if I perform the union of these two sets, how do I represent the union? It is with the help of this symbol. I can write it as A union B. Then how do I write? What are the elements of this? Union operation says that it is nothing but combination of both the sets. For example, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 and 8. This is the union of A and set B. Similarly, I will do the next operation on the same two sets, that is intersection. Then what happens with the intersection? We represent it with the help of the symbol. If I write A intersection B, then it is nothing but I will check whether I have anything or any element in common with both the sets. The element or elements of the set A are 1, 2 and 3. Similarly, the elements of set B are 3, 6, 7 and 8. Both has 3 elements, but no element are common. So when we have no elements as common, it would be a empty set. If I had, for example, if I add some element 4 here and I also had the element 4 even here, then what would have been A intersection B? It would have been 4. Okay? The common element in the set A as well as set B is known as, or it can be taken as, the intersection element here in A intersection B. Next operation on the set is difference. Difference of two sets. We have two sets here. We have two sets here. 1, 2, 3 and 4. And I have a set 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? I have a set A and B here. Now, the difference of two sets are represented something like this, A minus B. So, what appears in this set is that the elements that belong to set A and not to set B are A minus B, is called as A minus B. So, the elements that belong to set A are 1, 2, 3, but the element 4 also belongs to set B. So, we will not consider that. Clear? So, here A minus B is nothing but 1, 2, 3, because the elements that belong to set A and that does not belong to set B are represented by A minus B. Similarly, if I go with B minus A, this is obviously not equal to each other. A minus B is not equal to B minus A, because this has a different definition wherein it says that elements that belong to the set B not to set A. So, here the element that belongs to set B but not to set A are 5, 6 and 7. Okay? So, you know the difference of the operation difference now on the two sets A and B. A minus B tells that the element that belongs to the elements that belongs to set A not to set B. Similarly, B minus A is the elements or are the elements that belong to set B not to set A. So, this is a operation called as difference on the sets. With a brief idea about what is a set and the different operations that are performed on the sets, now we will continue our discussion for something known as Cartesian product of a sets. So, if I say we have two sets, let us say let A and B be two sets. Then the set of ordered pairs. Now, if I say I have a set of ordered pairs where the element A belongs to set A, the element A belongs to set A and the element B belongs to set B. Okay? I have a ordered pair. These are the two sets, and keep it aside, we let A and B be the two sets, and we have a ordered pair A comma B where this A belongs to the set A and B belongs to set B. Then these kind of sets are known as Cartesian product set or a product set of A and B. Okay? Let me repeat, we have two sets, and if I have another set which has the ordered pair of A and B where element A belongs to set A and B belongs to set B, and these type of set are known as Cartesian product set or product set of A and B, and we denote this by A cross B. We denote this by A cross B. We define A cross B is equal to A comma B, where A belongs to set A and B belongs to set B. This is how we write the Cartesian product set. This is how we write the Cartesian product set. A cross B is equal to A comma B is nothing but a ordered pair. It is nothing but a ordered pair where element A belongs to set A and element B belongs to set B. Once we know A cross B, we cannot say that B cross A is equal to A cross B, because B cross A is defined as B comma A, where B belongs to set B and A belongs to set A. So this is entirely different to A cross B. So A cross B is not equivalent to B cross A. A cross B is not equivalent to B cross A. Now we'll take up a small example for this and try to understand the writing of Cartesian product, or how to derive a Cartesian product for any given two or more number of sets. Let us take up a first example problem on writing the Cartesian product set. Now if I have a set A which has the elements 0, 1 and -2, okay, and I also have the set B which has two different elements 0, 2. Okay, I have two sets here. One is A with the elements 0, 1 and -2, and I have the set B where 0, 2 are the two elements of set B. Now if I ask you to write the Cartesian product of this, or if I am being asked to write the Cartesian product of this, then we write this as a set. Cartesian product is nothing but a set again, so it has to be enclosed within the braces. So here A cross B. So first I want a particular A. Let me help you out here. A cross B is equal to, I'll write the general form here, A comma B, where this A belongs to set A and the element B belongs to set B. Correct? Remember this, the general form of a Cartesian product. Now I want the element that belong to set A. Please remember, I want the element that belong to set A. So I'll take an element that belongs to set A, comma. Now B, what is B? That is the element that belongs to set B. So I'll take another element here. So this is an ordered pair. 0, 0 is one of the ordered pair of A cross B, comma. We have still more elements. So I'll keep the A constant of the set A. I'll change the B from 0 to next element, that is 0, 2. This is the next ordered pair. Similarly, if I proceed, 0 is done. So I'll take the next element that belongs to set A, that is 1, 0. Similarly, it is 1, 2. Right? Next again you'll come to -2, 0. Similarly -2, 2. So these are the different possible ordered pairs when it comes to A cross B of a given two sets A and B. Now we know that A cross B has certain number of ordered pairs in its set, and this is A cross B. Similarly, if I ask you to write B cross A on the same set, how do we do that? Yes, we'll take the first element here 0 and the first element here 0. Fine. Next 0, 1. Similarly 0, -2, followed by 2, 0. Similarly 2, 1, and next it is 2, -2. So you can clearly observe that A cross B is not equal to B cross A. These are two different sets. So which is evident that A cross B is not equal to B cross A. This is a simple illustration for that. So till now we have discussed where we have two different sets, that is set A and set B. Now if I have two sets where set A is equal to set B, I mean to say that we have two sets that those are equal to one another. Still we can define A cross B on this. Still we can define a Cartesian product on the two sets, on these two sets which are same. So how do we write this? A comma B, where A belongs to set A and B also belongs to set A, because they are internally the same. Set. Set A is equal to set B. Still we can define and we can denote this as A square, or also you can call it as A cross A. A cross A or A square holds good when the two sets are one and the same. Till now we have discussed the Cartesian product on two sets, those are A and B. The question is, can this Cartesian product can be derived for more number of orders? Yes, the Cartesian product can be derived or can be performed, product set can be derived for k depth also, for the k order also. For example, if I have the set A1, A2, A3 and so on till AK. So I have these many number of sets with me. So the idea of Cartesian product can be extended to whatever the order it is, whatever the total number of sets it is. So if I want to write the Cartesian product of it, A1 cross A2 cross A3 cross till AK, then it is nothing but a set of ordered tuples here, A1, A2, A3 and so on till AK, where A1 belongs to set A1, A2 belongs to set A2, similarly AK belongs to set AK, right? So this is how we write the Cartesian product of the sets to whatever the folds it is. So if I have the different number of or the total number of sets as k, we call it as k fold. If I have m number of sets, then we call it as m fold. Okay, so these are known as k fold, or we are trying to extend the idea of Cartesian product to k number of sets. Yeah. With the idea of extending the Cartesian product for more than two number of sets, we'll try to solve or we'll try to explore more things or try to understand in a better manner with this particular example, where I have three sets here. The set A has three elements in turn, 1, 3 and 5, and set B has 2 and 3 as the element, and set C has 4 and 6. So now I have just tried to elucidate few of the Cartesian products that we can derive and the different operations that we can perform on the set as well. So the very first one is what we will consider is A cross B. So let me try to write the Cartesian product set A cross B. Please help me out with this. So the first ordered pair is 1, 2, next it is 1, 2, 1, 3, next it is 3, 2, then followed by 3, 3, and also we have 5, 2 and 5, 3. So this is A cross B. Similarly, I have the next one. I hope that you are pretty much clear with writing the Cartesian product for two sets, right? So now I'll take up the next one here, that is A union B cross C. For this, I want first the union of two sets, that is A union B. So I will try to write the union of these two sets. So it will have 1, 3, 5, that are the elements of set A, and union with the set B, I will get 2, and I don't have to write the 3 again because it is already there in the set. So writing the element, same element 2 times makes no difference in the set theory. So we will have the presence of one element as a single presence. Okay. So now this is my A union B. Now I need to perform the Cartesian of it, or the product of this A union B with the C. So how do I write it? So again, A union B, you consider this as a single set cross this C. So it is 1, 4, 1, 6, followed by 3, 4, then followed by 3, 6, then it is 5, 4 and 5, 6, next it is 2, 4 and 2, 6. So this is called as A union B cross C. This is the Cartesian product of these two. Now the third one. So what is required here? It says that you will be performing A cross B, then you will be performing B cross C, then you will be trying to perform the union operation on those two Cartesian product set. So first we will write A cross B. Let us be quite quick here. 1, 2, 1, 3. Next it is 3, 2, followed by 3, 3. Then it is 5, 2, 5, 3. This is my A cross B. Similarly, B cross C. B cross C would be 2, 4, 2, 6, 3, 4, 3, 6. So this is B cross C. Now perform the union operation on these two Cartesian product set. So it is A cross B union B cross C. It is 1, 2, 1, 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, 5, 2 and 5, 3. This is A cross B. Now performing the union, check whether do we have any similar elements here in the B cross C. Check 2 cross 4, is there anywhere? No. So we can write 2 cross 4 also. Similarly 2, 6, no, we don't have it. So 2, 6 is also allowed in the union set. Similarly 3, 4, no, we don't have. So it is 3, 4, followed by 3, 6. Check for 3, 6, no. So it is 3, 6. So this is the union of the two Cartesian product set. We have performed the Cartesian product on two sets. Those are A, B, B and C and whatever it is. Now if I ask you to write the Cartesian product of three sets, those are this A, B and C, A cross B cross C should be equal to what? 1, the first element of the Cartesian ordered pair in a Cartesian product set should belong to set A. So it is 1, next element should belong to set B, that is B, and the third element should belong to third set, that is 4. 1, 2, 4. Next it is 1, 2, 6, right? Next it is 1, the 1 would be the same thing, that belongs to the set A itself. Now instead of 2 we'll take 3, 1, 3, 4. Then again the next order pair is 1, 3, 6, and then it is 1, 1 comma 3 comma 6. Okay, this is fine. So it is 3 comma 2 comma 4 and 3 comma 2 comma 6, and then again, so done with 1 3 comma 2 comma, yes, 3 comma, that is the first element of set A, and the next element of set B is 3 and 4. Similarly 3 comma 6. Next it is 5 comma 2 comma 4, followed by 5 comma 2 comma 6, and again 5 comma 3 comma 4, and followed by 5 comma 3 comma 6. So these are the ordered pairs in the Cartesian product of 3 sets, A cross, B cross, C. Here, just to cross verify whether I have all the ordered pairs in the Cartesian product, you just take the size of the set A. What is the size of set A? The number of elements in the set A are 3. The order or the size of the set B, it is 2. The size of set C is also 2. So 3 cross 2 is 6, 6 cross 2 is 12. So you count the number of elements or the ordered pairs in the Cartesian product, it has to match that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So if I have the 12 number of ordered pairs here in my Cartesian product of A cross B cross C, then I have all the ordered pairs in the Cartesian product of 3 sets. Continuing the discussion with the next topic or the next question here on the board. So let me read out the question for you. Suppose we have 3 sets A comma B comma C, which is a subset. How do we represent a subset? We represent a subset with the help of this particular symbol here. This is a subset of Z cross Z. What is Z cross Z, or what is a set that is represented by Z? A set that is represented by is nothing but a set of all integers. So here Z cross Z is nothing but you are performing the Cartesian product on the same set, that is a set of all integers. With A, I have the different set A, I have the definition for set B, and I have the definition for set C as well. How do I represent the x and y here? It is nothing but the ordered pair. Here the ordered pair x comma y is denoted by, or it is defined by, x is equal to 5x minus 1. So when you give the particular value to x, the associated y value would be derived. If I select a value for x, if I give the value for x as 1, then what would be y? Just solve that. Y is equal to 5x minus 1. Now I give x as 2. So what happens? Y is equal to 5 into 2 is 10 minus 1, that gives you 9. So when x is 2, y is 9. So this is how we get the ordered pair. Okay, we get the ordered pair. So we have defined A with the help of this definition. Similarly, the set B is defined by y is equal to 6x. Similarly, you give the x value or y value, the associated values of x and y would be derived. Similarly, for the set C, you give the value for x, the value for y would be derived. So I have the 3 sets here, and I have the associated to be found out. One is A intersection B, similarly B intersection C, and then A complement union with C complement whole complement. Then it is B complement union with C complement. So how do we do this? How do we do this? First we'll take A intersection B. So you know what is the intersection B. What should be the element of this set? This set should have the elements that are common to set A as well as set B. So it should have the element that is common in both set A. So is that feasible to find out what are the elements of set A and what are the element of set B, then try to identify what is there in set A as well as set B, because we are talking about a huge set or the universal set Z, which is a set of all integers. So trying out with all the possible values of x and y is not feasible for this. So first what we'll do is we note that what we'll do, we note that this x comma y here, this x comma y belongs to A intersection B. Please pay attention here. Since I'm trying to identify the elements that belongs to A intersection B, I am writing it as A x comma y. Those are the elements that I'm trying to identify. So x comma y belongs to A intersection B. This is logically equivalent to x comma y belongs to A. Since we have the operation here as intersection, the same x comma y should also belong to B. So I am using the word and x comma y belongs to B. X comma y belongs to B. Now this can be written as, how do I write this? What is x comma y belong to A? That is y is equal to 5x minus 1. Similarly here it is, in the set B it is y is equal to 6x. So now I can write this as 5x minus 1 is equal to 6x, correct? Now simplifying this, what do I get? Simplifying this, is equal to 6. Simplifying this, I get x plus 1 is equal to 0. That is x is equals to minus 1. When I have the x value as minus 1, I can derive the associated y value. So how do I do that? Y is equal to minus 6. Substituting the value for x here, I get the value for y. So this is x and y, I have it. So the first one, A intersection, thus A intersection B is equal to the pair, it is equal to a set which has the ordered pair minus 1 comma minus 6. So this is A intersection B. A intersection. Similarly here, trying out the second one, that is B intersection C. So we can write it as x comma y belongs to B intersection C. So that is logically equivalent to x comma y that belongs to B and x comma y also belongs to set C. So now how do we write it? What is the definition of B? Y is equal to 6x. Similarly, I have 3x minus y is equal to 7, which can be written as y is equal to 3x minus 7. Okay. So now 6x is equal to 3x minus 7, which in turn can be written as, by simplifying, I am just trying to skip those steps, 7 by 3. 7 by 3. So this is not possible. See, x is equal to 7 by 3, which give rise to some fraction. So x cannot be that particular thing. It is a integer, right? It cannot be the decimal one, so which is not possible. So B intersection C is equal to a null set, okay, an empty set, which is not possible. X cannot be that particular value, and irrespective of whatever the value I get for x, similar associated y would also be the same thing, a fractional one, so it cannot be an integer. So this is a null set. B intersection C is a null. So similarly, the third one, what it says is A complement A, or A we call it as A dash union C dash whole dash. Okay. So how do I perform this? How do I write this? Basically, A dash union C dash can be written as, or it is nothing but equivalent for A intersection C whole dash. Correct? A intersection C whole dash. So that this A intersection C whole dash with the complement here given in the question. So it is dash will negate the whole dash. So this is nothing but this is equivalent to A intersection C. This is nothing but equivalent to A intersection C. So x comma y belongs to A intersection C. So how do we write this in the same typical older manner? X comma y belongs to A and x comma y belongs to C. You have the definition for A, that is y is equal to 5x minus 1. Similarly, you have the definition for set C, that is equal to 3x minus y is equal to 7. So on simplifying this, you can write this y as 3x minus 7. So what do we get? 5x minus 1 is equal to 3x minus 7. So on simplifying, this would be 2x is equal to minus 6. So x would be minus 3, and replacing that particular value of x here in this term, we get y is equal to minus 15 minus 1. So that would be minus 16. So we have x and y associated with that. So what you get is, let me write it here, A dash union C dash whole dash is equal to minus 3 comma minus 16. This is the solution for this. Similarly, moving ahead for the fourth one. What is the fourth one? It says that B dash union C dash, this can be written as B intersection C whole dash. Correct? B intersection C whole dash. Already with the same set of A and B, we have written B intersection C in the second question. Your second question is B intersection C. So we have identified it as a null set. So the complement of null set would be nothing but a universal set. So we can easily say that B intersection C whole dash, that is in turn equal to B dash union C dash, is nothing but the universal set. Is nothing but universal set, right? So we'll end the discussion for the session now. We'll continue in the next session. Thank you.